Welcome to Biggest Spoilars, the destination for exclusive spoilers, latest updates.
Tracy pauses on entering the kitchen and chancing Ronnie digging through the tea. Ronnie tries making peace, but Tracy just wants her to shut up. And when Ronnie begs Tracy to tell her about her family, it gets worse. Tracy snaps that Ronnie had no relationship with Monica and there's no way she left her the house. This is all a scam. Michael and Ronnie bond. After Tracy leaves, Michael shows up and asks how Ronnie's first night went. They get into Tracy's venom and Michael just tells Ronnie not to let his great aunt get to her. Plus, he's thankful to Ronnie for stopping that Hunt leave. Ronnie asks if there should be anything to worry about, also apologizes, but it's all good. Michael's zen about the whole thing and fills her in on what's passing and why everyone hates Drew. She just hopes that they can all heal these injuries. Does Anna have the right suspect now? ADA Turner visits Anna in her office. They fight over whose fault the typo in the Quartermain Hunt leave was and how important it squinched up the disquisition. But as Turner points out, since Anna applied for another leave, she easily has further suspects. They go over Willow's justification being an egregious taradiddle. Plus, she knows the Quartermain grounds well, including Edward's gun collection. Turner promises Anna the leave should be ready within the hour and leaves. Will Jordan play ball with Drew? Drew processed Jordan to his sanitarium room to save Curtis. If he tells the Bobbies all he knows, they'll stop looking at Michael and start looking at Curtis. But he's willing to look past his former musketeer's tried murder if Jordan uses her connections to push for Michael's arrest. What did you promise Willow in exchange for her coming back to you? He feigns ignorance, but Jordan keeps pressing until she figures she hits upon the verity he promised Willow he'd get relief of Michael. She calls him sad and pathetic and storms out. Who's the daddy of Portia's baby? Isaiah's thinking reversed to hooking up with Portia when Lucas walks in, about to tease him about courting. Rather, Lucas senses that Isaiah's seeing someone and gets a boo in return. Speaking of whom, Portia gets evidence that she's 7 weeks pregnant and flashes to sleeping with both Curtis and Isaiah. Also, Jordan nearly literally runs into her and Dr. Navarro as she hurries down from Drew, but doesn't stick around long. Is Willow's time up? At home, Liz apologizes to Willow for letting Michael in. Willow insists it was a good occasion to talk. She got her point across. Liz truly believes Michael wants to cool effects between him and Willow for the kids. After Willow leaves, Portia drops in, looking for a friend to fill in on her gestation drama. Curtis doesn't know, she's not sure if staying together or decoupling is better, and he may not indeed be the father. But Portia can't get into that stunner before Anna knocks on Liz's door with a leave. Everyone has it out for Lulu. Sunny ambushes Lulu as she eats and demands to know why she's going after Michael. She insists she just reported the data, and nothing further. Her composition didn't say Michael did it. They go back and forth as he accuses her and she maintains that she's ideal, no matter what. Sunny just looks forward to her reporting Michael's innocent. Also walks out. Tracy drops by coming to kill Lulu about what she dug up on Ronnie. Lulu hands over her Ronnie Bard dossier, which is a complete and maximum disappointment. There's nothing there to use. All you set up out about Ronnie is she won a pie-making contest in Durham. Lulu thinks Ronnie's on the up and over, but Tracy refuses to accept it. Lulu gently points out that Ronnie hasn't demurred anyone out of the house and the entire family is stupidly rich. She thinks Tracy's problem is really with Monica. Did Sunny make his point to Turner? Turner arrives at Diane and Alexis' office, surprised to see Sunny. He paid Diane to grease a meeting with Turner. He knows about her issue with the leave, also warns her that if Michael's charged with Drew's firing, you may no way make again. Sunny clarifies that he's not hanging, just giving her the data about her conflict of interest. She wouldn't be suitable to make because she's compromised. And for the record, he's not blackmailing her. I'm guarding us. In the show's final moments, Jordan rushes over to Curtis to tell him what Drew tried to get her to do, but he isn't upset. Drew's got nothing on them. He lost the substantiation against Portia, and Curtis didn't shoot the Hall. And formally this is all cleared, he and Portia are getting a divorce. Tracy insists to Lulu that the last many times with Monica were different. They came close. Why would she do this to Tracy? To Michael? The will is phony and Ronnie is hiding something. When Willow visits Drew with the good news, "I'm seeing my kitties" moment. He tells her it's a trap. But she's willing to risk it to see her kitties. She doesn't watch what Michael's plan is, she needs to see them. No. The Bobbies search the house, and when Anna gets back downward with a wrapped pack, Liz freaks out. And it gets worse when Anna tells her to accompany them to the police station. "Where's your roommate?" In Anna's office, she updates Dante on Ronnie, the leave, and Edward's missing gun. She thinks Dante might be the perfect person to figure out who took the gun. Given that he lives at the Quartermain estate, Anna reveals Carly is one of her top suspects. Dante says Carly hasn't justification, but Anna believes Jack would lie for her. Anna notes her alternate suspect is his family, Michael. Dante agrees that Michael's justification, Jacinda, is too neat, and the substantiation looks bad, but he doesn't suppose he did it. What are Michael's terms for Willow? Willow is stupefied when she returns to Liz's and finds Michael there. Michael explains he's been staying for her. She tells him how she's about Monica, and she's been bothered about him, the kiddies, and the rest of the family. Michael got the announcement about their case being laid over and says it's too long for her and the kiddies to be piecemeal, so he'd like her to see them. Willow is overjoyed, but confused. Why now? Especially given that she's back with Drew. Michael still doesn't want Drew near their children, so this assignation extends only to her. Also, her visits are to be supervised by a family therapist for 1 hour a week. Willow notes that isn't a lot of time and thinks it'll confuse the kiddies, but Michael says they'll be concentrated on her, not the therapist. He allowed. She'd be thankful. She is, but it still means he doesn't trust her to be around their kiddies. Michael says this is a step forward and one he doesn't have to give her. She knows that, and she's tired of fighting, as it's turned her into someone with no kiddies, no power, and many choices. He says if she loves their kiddies as much as she claims, she should swallow her pride and prove it. Is that really Nathan? At the sanitarium, Britt finds Nathan changing into road clothes in his room. She's shocked he's being discharged, but he's ready to face his new reality. It's time for him to reclaim his life. Spinelli shows up, and Nathan asks if he brought James. Spinelli didn't, but he came to bandy James. Britt says this isn't the time, as Nathan is about to be released. Spinelli relents and leaves. Britt tells Nathan she has to get back to work, but they really need to sculpt out time to talk. She also heads out. In the hall, Spinelli confronts Britt to find out why she was concerned about James meeting Nathan. She felt it was a lot to handle for a little boy, but Spinelli thinks there's further to it. He notes it's intriguing that both Faison's children came back from the dead at the same time. Spinelli believes Nathan has no memory, but Britt hasn't offered explanations as to where she's been. Britt says there's no big story. She was working at a gym and trying to live a quiet life until Jason ruined her peace and obscurity. Britt doesn't know why she's talking to him, as Jason is the one she needs to be dealing with. Carly gets a shock. At Carly's, Joss cries to her mama that Vaughn is a WSB agent and that everything that happened between them this summer was a taradiddle. She explains that she went to see Jack at his office. She wanted to invite him to regale with them, to make up for how cold she's been towards him, and that's when she set about Vaughn works for the WSB, as he was there in a power suit. Joss explains she brazened him, and Vaughn admitted he's been an agent for a while. Carly realizes that means Jack knew all along, and Joss could have been in peril. Joss claims she wasn't in peril, but Carly says she doesn't know that, and she needs to hear from Jack on this. On the pier, Jason can't believe Jack tapped Carly's phone and interdicted their meeting. He tries to walk down, but Jack is offering him a choice. It's imperative that Joss maintain her cover, and Carly doesn't know. Is Carly knowing the verity about Joss more important than Britt's freedom? Jack has enough to put Britt in Steinbauer to spend what little life she has left rotting down there, and Jason can keep that from passing by not telling Carly about Joss. Jason knows that keeping quiet is his only option, so he storms off. Are Jack and Carly over? Jack arrives at Carly's, and Joss heads out to give them sequestration. Jack senses Carly is angry, and she asks how he could keep the fact that Vaughn was WSB from her. He says this was classified, but Carly doesn't watch when it comes to her son. She yells that he put Joss in peril, but Jack says he made sure Joss was no way in any peril. She says he prevaricated to her and violated her trust. Jack reminds her that she knew he'd to keep effects from her, and she said she could handle that. Carly admits perhaps she can't. Meanwhile, Vaughn meets with Joss on the pier, and he's surprised to hear from her as they're supposed to have no contact. Joss explains that Brennan told her she had to keep her mama detracted so that he could find a way to keep Jason quiet. Joss used what he tutored her in training. She told the Verity, she told her mama that he's WSB. Vaughn says it was a smart move, and Carly would have set up out the Verity since Brennan made him second in command. They talk about their time together, which is now in the history. Joss notes that knowing and accepting are two separate effects. Will Britt come clean? Jason meets Britt at the sanitarium and asks what she needs to bandy. She tells him that Spinelli is claiming she's ever tied to Nathan's mysterious return, when she has nothing to do with it, and he knows it. Jason says she hasn't been outspoken with him, and it's hard to help her when she keeps holding effects back. He wants to cover her, but he can't cover her from what he doesn't know. Spinelli, meanwhile, goes back to see Nathan about James. Spinelli feels that the boy presently needs structure in his life to manage with everything going on. Nathan can't imagine how they're feeling with Maxie gone. He admits he still loves Maxie, and to him, she's still his woman. He thanks Spinelli for showing up for Maxie and his son, and they're on the same runner. He'll follow Spinelli's lead in the show's final moments. At the sanitarium, Spinelli and Nathan agree that James comes first, and Nathan promises he'll be the father that James needs and deserves. Britt tells Jason she can't do this with him again. She tells him to either put her first or stay out of her way. He says he'll do everything he can for her, but she says that's one of his classic non-answers, not the one she wanted, and walks down. At Carly's, she's trying to believe Jack wouldn't have let anything be to Joss, and she wants to be right about him. She wants to trust him. He wants that too and pulls her into an embrace. On the pier, Vaughn tells Joss that effects shift presto in their world, so this might not be the end. He pulls her into a kiss. He tells her farewell for now and walks off. At Liz's, Willow accepts Michael's terms and says he knows she'd do anything to see her kitties. Michael says he'll be in touch and walks out. At the PCPD, looking over the suspect list, Anna asks Dante why they should circumscribe their suspects to those who have access to the Quartermain place. Dante says the security system can be traduced. He points out that Drew snuck in to see Willow last time, and Michael was induced. Willow was the bone. Who snuck in and targeted Daisy? Anna asks why she's just now hearing this about Willow. Dante says Michael had no evidence and didn't pursue it. Anna ponders whether Willow has what it takes to be the shooter, and Dante suggests that losing her kitties could have pushed her to do it. Anna also gets in dispatch, pulls it up, and it's footage of Nina's apartment structure. The timestamp is when the firing passed, and Nina is in the footage alone. Dante notes this means Willow doesn't have an justification.